We're living hard times now. When we started the new decade on the 1st of January, some people would have predicted the situation that we're in. Almost all the world sits in full isolation, and all the markets around us are falling. This is the kind of disaster that won't allow people to perform most of their interests. Here are 15 industries that are failing because of COVID-19. Number 1. Restaurants and bars. The short distance between the public is the first factor that affects the spreading of the virus faster. The government has had to close all the bars and restaurants, but many people didn't pay attention to that national call to keep away from these gatherings. Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York State, declared closing all the non-essential services. He commanded everybody to stay at home. The only services that remain open are pharmacies, grocery stores, gas stations, laundromats, and limited transportation routes. Of course, restaurants and bars are closed, except for the delivery service. Number 2. Sporting events. The NBA suspended its season on the 11th of March when a Utah Jazz player, Rudy Gobert, tested positive with COVID-19. The NBA also posted a total of 14 positive cases of COVID-19 on the 16th of March. Infection involving employees and players in many music festivals and sporting events is a multi-billion-dollar industry worldwide. It is an industry whose predictable future looks bleak, from Ironman triathlon to marathon, school sports tours to the Premier League. There isn't a fixed continuing. Even Tokyo Olympics, which have to begin on the 24th of July, is suspended. The financial costs for these industries are huge. They include industries like traveling and hospitality, and they're harming them too. Number 3. Music festivals. Musical festivals are cancelled for the predictable future. These events are a place for spreading the virus. Now, with COVID-19 being such a deadly virus, no one is taking any chances. COVID-19 has a major effect on everybody from musical artists to booking agents, ticketing, backstage, and travel. Many costs aren't able to be recovered. It's unclear what music festivals will be like after a world with COVID-19. Will the public ever have the desire to go to these gatherings again? Time will tell. Number 4. Malls and high streets. Because of increasing infection, the state tries to impose spacing rules between the public. It also tries to limit going to public places or shops for non-essentials. Malls and high streets look like ghost towns. Many shops have decided to send their staff home to save costs and protect their employees and shoppers. Some people prefer buying online to switch to home delivery instead of going to the shops at this time. Number 5. The beauty service industry. We're in a hard time now that touching your face is forbidden. It isn't these days to go to a salon for FaceTime with strange people who are interacting with others throughout the day. There's a high level of hygiene in this industry for sure, but this doesn't make it safe. You aren't going out for a walk or to see others, so having your nails and hair done isn't essential. Most people are saving their money at this time. Number 6. Gyms and the fitness industry. Have you thought about the global risk for the contamination included in a workout session that's filled by a high percentage of sweat? No? Then it's now the time to start thinking about it. Most sports facilities and gyms are now closed to decrease public gatherings in the state. Don't think that just because you're training in an open gym, you won't get infected. There's a percentage of higher than 80% to get infected due to the workout machines that are being held and touched by others. If you're a gym lover, you may better choose to train at your home with or without your own workout machines. Number 7. Wedding and funeral industry. Group events are strictly forbidden. Weddings are being postponed left, right, and center, and funerals as well. In South Africa, for example, even before the official countrywide lockdown on March 26th, gatherings of 100 people were strictly forbidden to curb corona speed. Within the USA on March 16th, Trump's administration recommended avoiding gatherings in groups of more than 10. In Australia, funerals are suspended as they're considered non-essential gatherings. But in the case they're going to continue, they should only be in small groups with 2 meters between everyone. These restrictions put a large damper on the marriage and funeral industry. And that we can't consider a more risky gathering than a gaggle of friends and family flying in from everywhere, all mixing with children and your elderly aunts and uncles crammed into a stuffy venue for hours. And within the rapid infection rate and long incubation rate of the corona, and it's a recipe for disaster. The moratorium on these events is understandable, but it doesn't remove from the impact it's having on the vendors involved. Photographers, catering, venues, sound, and lighting are all feeling the pinch as weddings and funerals are postponed until an unknown future date. When these are again allowed, there will also be a mad scramble for bookings. Number 8. Cinemas, theaters, museums, and art galleries. Social distancing means keeping out of public spaces, but it also spells disaster for businesses that depend on members of the general public to shop for tickets. The loss of income may be crushing to those industries, as many of the exhibits, artists, or movie titles were booked and got over a year to secure them. Then, when the income isn't available or the season moves along, these aren't costs which will be recouped. It's an awesome blow for the international and native art and culture scene, and can be an enormous blow to any or all associated businesses. Number 9. Airlines and travel agencies are in a nosedive. Airlines are scrambling to remain afloat as more and more travel bans are imposed to undertake and stop the spread of the virus. Travel agents and hospital staff try to plug the holes as they hemorrhage from a loss of sales, and therefore the massive refunds they're having to issue. The travel perks? A web travel site has experienced a 50% call in business globally, and CEO Avi Mir is bracing for further drops. They've moved their sales team into customer support to assist the masses of incoming calls and emails of concerned customers. The sole business strategy at this stage for the travel industry is to resolve the cancellation cases quickly and retain high customer satisfaction, so when travel reopens again, they'll still have some clients to come back to them. Number 10. The cruise liner industry. COVID has prevented cruise liners from physically docking into ports. Why? Because the spread of the virus on their ships has been so rapid. It started with a Diamond cruise in Japan being refused to dock. Its 3,700 passengers and crew were quarantined at a Japanese port on February 4th. After 700 passengers tested positive, sadly, 8 people died from COVID-19 during this case. The Grand Princess cruise had 21 people test positive, and every passenger was route marched into federal quarantine on U.S. soil. Passengers are demanding full refunds and compensation. Threats of class action lawsuits and reputational damage that may take lots to salvage. And also, the securities market hasn't been kind either, with the 3 big hitters within the industry posting massive losses. Within the past 30 days, Carnival stock has dropped by nearly 60%, while Royal Caribbean and Norwegian have both lost 70% of their value. Number 11. Big factories and industry. The floors of the factories may be the most special place for the spreading of diseases like COVID-19. Just one person can easily infect the whole factory and their production line. More infections when workers interact with each other in their locker rooms, canteens, or public transportation. Number 12. The Dutch cut flower industry. Adal Samir Auction. It is the largest flower auction worldwide. 20% of the for sale offered flowers had to be disposed of. The flowers are being sold worldwide daily in the auction in that giant market. The warehouse takes the 4th place globally relevant to its area. The prices decreased to 50% in March, which led the market to enter a panic mode. Number 13. The hotel industry. Many hotels have been strongly harmed as international travelers were one of the main reasons for the spreading of the deadly virus. The hotels have hosted markets and sales conferences, and this helped the virus to spread. Marriott Long Wharf hosted a biotech conference in Boston in February. There was an infected person who helped the virus to spread and infect almost everyone present at the conference after 2 days. Dozens of infected persons by the virus left the conference, holding the virus and spreading it over without knowing the disease. Number 14. School-related services. These are often small businesses dependent on fees. There are a lot of small businesses that support the schools industry and childcare, from the school meals to transportation, from dance courses to trainers. In general, these are no-work, no-pay services. Most small businesses are sitting, waiting for the lockdown to be lifted to come back to work again. Number 15. Sightseeing tours and guiding industry. If you take a look at most of the world's tourism attractions, you'll see an almost clear place with no crowd or gatherings. These words don't mean that the tourists keep staying at their home. This means a whole industry of touring agents, truck owners, vendors, shop owners also sitting without work. This includes a large number of small businesses with little to no safety net that pushes it forward. When travel bans are lifted, the world sits and waits to see how things will be performed, and we're here waiting you to be healthy and safe. So stay at home and keep watching and downloading our videos to stay notified. Thank you for watching our video. If it was useful for you, don't forget to support us with a like, subscribe, and share. We hope to see you in good health in the next video.